We're going to turn to Bob Henson. He's a senior meteorologist with the Weather Underground. Bob, great to see you. Tell us the latest path with the storm.
Well, Irma is continuing to head west-northwest. It is gradually, ever so gradually, moving away from Cuba and heading now toward the Florida Keys. It's about 10 hours away from the Florida Keys. Right now, it's headed toward Key West. It may veer a little bit to the right of Key West and hit some of the other middle Keys, but the Keys are in for a very, very rough hit. Irma may re-intensify from a Category 3 into a Category 4 by that point. And it's then set to further perhaps organize as it heads toward the southwest Florida coast. It now looks like Irma is going to go up the whole west coast of Florida from bottom to top, which is a very unusual track. So that means the whole state is going to be experiencing tropical storm force winds for a number of hours, large areas with hurricane winds, and a very serious storm surge in the areas of southwest Florida, including Fort Myers and Naples, where about 1 million people live in that area.
And so behind Irma, we have two other storms. Can you tell us about them?
Well, Katia has fortunately decayed now, and it's no longer a threat. It came ashore in Mexico last night. Hurricane Jose is still a very strong Category 4 hurricane, well out in the Atlantic. It's actually very close to some of the areas of the Leeward Islands hit by Irma. It looks like Jose will be slowing down early next week and kind of lingering in the open Atlantic for a few days. And then we'll have to watch it because in about a week to 10 days, it may be heading toward the U.S. East Coast. But track forecasts that far out are very, very uncertain. So we really aren't sure what it's going to be doing that far out.
So Harvey made his landfall. Katia no longer a threat. We have Jose, Irma lingering. What is behind, and why are we having these storms all in a row like this?
Well, forecasters anticipated it would be a very active season in the Atlantic this year, in large part because the water temperatures across the whole region are substantially above average. Unfortunately, this is something we expect with climate change to have more seasons with warmer waters. And that certainly provides fuel for hurricanes. Now, whether a hurricane itself is going to develop depends on small-scale weather, and we've always had hurricanes. So it's a challenge to say this hurricane was affected by X% by climate change. But we do know that on average, the strongest hurricanes are getting a little stronger, and certainly the rains they produce are getting heavier, and that relates directly back to Harvey. So we can expect hurricanes to be variable from year to year and where they strike and how strong they are, but climate change is tending to make them a little stronger and certainly rainier.
So after we see Irma make her way up the coast, what should we expect in terms of storms, tornadoes, that kind of thing afterwards?
Well, there are already tornadoes developing. Fort Lauderdale has just had a significant tornado just in the last hour. We could see dozens of tornadoes, very heavy rains, although nothing like Harvey. I think the biggest story is going to be widespread winds. I mean, the entire Florida Peninsula could have power outages, trees down. We haven't really had a windstorm of that scale across the state in modern times. So also, even though the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach area, it looks like it's going to miss the worst of this storm, it could be catastrophic for southwest Florida, an area that people around the world don't know as much about. But again, 1 million people live there, a very wealthy area in some places, and a lot of potential for property damage and potential storm surge inundation that could be very serious.
Well, Bob Henson with Weather Underground, we certainly appreciate your time. Thank you so much.